Hello and welcome to another episode of Top of Off Cricket Podcast. As usual, I am your host, Kevin Henry, and we are talking everything West Indies cricket. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so, like, share the videos, and most importantly, I would like to interact with you down in the comments. Let me know what are your thoughts on what I would have said. What are your opinions? Am I wrong? Do you feel that I'm wrong or right? Whatever it is, let me know. Well, let's interact down in the comments, okay? So what are we talking about tonight? I am doing a recap of today's first day's play of the final round match, the round that has all the championship implications. And from the looks of it, there are some teams that look like they might blink. They're really grappling. It's a tough round. You can see it based on the scores that you're seeing coming out of the different games. So I'm gonna go through all four games. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, my opinions, from what I'm seeing. I'm gonna start with the Leeward Islands versus Windward Islands game, and like I asked earlier in my preview, I want to see young Joel Andrews step up and Mikael Louis continue his good form. I was expecting Casey Carty to do something special, but unfortunately he did not. He made 0 today. But young Mikael Louis, this is his first season. Man, what an extraordinary season it has been for him. Another first-class 100. This is his third of the season to go, along with 4 half-centuries. He now has 649 runs from 11 innings. That is monumental for a young man that's coming into his first season of first-class cricket and looking the part. That is the most impressive thing about it. He looks the part. He looks like he belongs. He looks assured. And that could only augur well for his future. Like I said before, Tejan Chandapal is making it easy for other openers around the Caribbean, around the other franchises to take his spot. But unfortunately, none of the experienced openers have done so. They haven't put their hands up. The only person have put their hands up is young Mikael Louis. And we want to be careful with him. But I am seeing something special in him. And when the iron is hot, I would prefer us to strike, because he has time on his side. If he is selected to go to England, he has time on his side. He can afford to fail, right? We can't have somebody, a 30-year-old, who's journeyman or who's been around the first-class season for a long time, going to England and failing. His window is a whole lot shorter, but this young man is 24 years old and he has time on his hands. And I think we need to invest in him. Had he continued, because there was a couple of games where, he kind of wavered a little bit and he caught himself. And that's the beautiful thing about it. He caught himself and he's picked up back and he's producing runs. Over 200 runs in his last 3 innings. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. This young man is definitely one to watch, young Mikael Louis. The other one to watch is young Joel Andrews, 17 years old. This kid is phenomenal. His temperament, like I said in the previous show, I love it. His ability to attack, his ability to defend, his ability to rotate, strike. I just love it. This young man is one for us to nurture and ensure that his path is filled with development. The last thing we would need is to rush him into any teams that he doesn't, or to a level that he doesn't necessarily belong right now. He's 17 years old playing first-class cricket, and I think that's one of the greatest things. So let us see how young Joel Andrew goes. Today he made 68. It was a beautiful innings to watch. For the Windward Islands, Pacer, like I said, Pacer Ryan John, he consistently asks questions of batsmen. He consistently tests their technique. And he did so again today. Had a 3-wicket haul. It was good. It was a good spell from him. Over at the Sir Frank Worrell ground, The CCC were bowled out for 200. I didn't expect much from the CCC. It looked like they crumbled under the pace of young Isaiah Thorne and Niall Smith, the Barbician duo. And what I liked, when I was watching this morning was, as I asked for, get the ball up there, get the ball top of off, right outside off, fourth stump, fifth stump. Let those young batsmen answer some questions. And it was impressive to see how Thorne and Niall Smith used the new ball. It was really, really good, refreshing to see them trying to get the ball up there, not use the short ball as much as they did in the previous matches. Niall seemed like he was dialed in today. He was he was on a really, really good length. Shamar Brooks came in. He troubled Shamar Brooks, right outside off, right up on top of off. And he made it difficult for batsmen to score. And it showed because they were rattling stumps. Him and Thorne were rattling stumps. So, like I said, if you get it up there, you're going to ask more questions than if you bowl short and wide. And that was beautiful. Both of them picked up wickets today. Niall Smith ended up with 3 wickets for 45 runs. And young Isaiah Thorne, 2 for 45. In Guyana's turn at the crease, once again, Tejan Ryan Chandapal failed to show up. Didn't last long. And I'm saying, this is a test opening batsman who is going through a tough time and can't seem to figure it out. And one of the main reasons is because he only has one gear. He doesn't have a second gear to shift into, a third gear to shift into. He only knows one gear. And I think that is the primary reason why he's struggling. Today, he only made 12 before he fell to young Amari Goodridge. Another good delivery. But it was refreshing to see Raymond Perez finally show up. He's been playing schoolboy cricket during the other 3 matches that he played. He real schoolboyish in the way he was playing his shots, foot not moving, all this kind. I'm guessing it's just the moment for him, right? Because today he looked really good. The shots came out. His feet was moving. He got his feet going. Was getting behind the ball, and those are all good things to see. It's an innings for him to build on. He's currently on 61 not out. At the wicket with him is Kevlon Anderson, who really hasn't shown up this season either. 1 half century, and this is his 7th match. We were expecting big things of Kevlon Anderson. Was supposed to be in South Africa last year for the 18 tour, but paperwork issues, and he didn't get over there, but came back and played for the academy side and did well against the young Irish side. And the expectation was when he came into the first class season to build on that success that he had against the young Irish side. But not too sure what's going on with him. I'm hoping in this innings he come out with big half century. A century would do. He needs a century right now. The tour to the South Africans touring the West Indies is right around the corner. I wouldn't be talking about Kevlon Anderson going to England. He has the talent, but I wouldn't be talking about Kevlon Anderson going to England because he just hasn't put up the numbers. But South Africa 18 tours in August, and that would be a perfect opportunity for him to, grow his game and make a name for himself. Sri Lanka's down the road. There's test tours in the new year, so those are things for him to look forward to. In the Barbados Pride versus West Indies A game, like I said, this young West Indies Academy side, they do not roll over. They just do not roll over. They do not know when to quit. They are some pesky young men. They will bring the fight to you. And that's what they did to this experienced Barbados side today. They bowled out Barbados for 153. And in their turn at the crease, they're 111 for 4. It's going to be a low scoring game because that is how the young West Indies Academy side plays. They nag at you all the time, and the games that they play, a lot of those games are quite low scoring games. They've won two out of the 6 matches so far. That's because they hassle you the whole way. They don't give up. They're right there. They're at your necks the whole way, and I like that about them. What I would like to see though is when they have their turn at the crease to bat, minimize those injudicious shots. Understand that they need to play time. Young Akeem Ogis, he's on 67 right now. Yes, he's on 67 or 67 not out right now. He's playing really well. And I want to see him carry on. He's a talented youngster. I want to see him carry on. He's had a terrible season so far. And what better time to show up than the final game? Hey, better late than never, right? So this is going to be a low scoring game, but I do expect the Bajans to win at the end of the day. Over at Sabina Park, Trinidad and Tobago are 308 for 7. Whew. Man, am I happy to see Joshua Da Silva. I don't know where he's been all season long. He's came back from Australia, 2 half centuries. He's leading the TT side. He's the captain. And I don't think he's been leading from the front. A batsman of his talent, he's supposed to have at least 400 runs already, at a minimum. A batsman of Da Silva's talent. And that is the issue that we have with Joshua Da Silva. He looks good. Darren Sammy was talking about hype the other day, right? The way how Joshua Da Silva bats, that's a lot of hype, but there's not much substance behind it. He needs to add substance to that beautiful technique that he has, that easygoing style that he has. He needs to add substance to it. He's way too good a batsman to not be showing up regularly on the first class circuit. Today, he scored a century. He made 107. It's about time. When we were in South Africa for the A-team tour, he didn't show up the whole series until the last match. Then he made 100. Goes to Australia. Had a horrible first test. Poor shots. Showed up in the second test in the first innings, and that is what we want to see. But we need to see consistency. And when I say when Sammy's talking about substance, when I'm talking about substance, I am talking about doing it consistently, right? For a player like Joshua Da Silva, it needs to be done consistently, not once in a blue moon. So he needs to follow this up in the second innings with another solid innings, whether 80 or another century, depending on how the match goes. Amir Jangu showed up again today, 51. Has almost 500 runs in the last 3 games, sorry. In the last match, he had his first class century, but he's been around first class cricket for a long time. It's about time these players start producing. So it has been an interesting first day's play in the 7th round. Like I said, this round has championship implications, and some teams look like they're starting to blink already. The Leewards are holding strong. Let's see how the Windwards go in their turn at the crease. Barbados blinked 153 against a young West Indies Academy side. Guyana is holding up their end of the bargain. They blew the CCC out. Now it's their turn at the crease, 114 for 1. I'm looking for Guyana to bat for the next 2 days. Pile up the runs, right? That's what you're supposed to do against weaker teams. Pile up the runs. So let's see what comes out of tomorrow's play. So once again, if you haven't subscribed before, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and most importantly, jump in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? All right. Let's have this conversation about the West Indies team and our first class season as it progresses. I am Kevin Henry, your host for the Top of Off podcast. See you later.